Hello, fellow Earthlings. Miss Spockirk's numerical spiritual voyage is now upon number 4. I did some research and I found that 4 is associated with totality, the cross, and the crucifixion. It is also a number that is associated with justice, stability, and it resonates with loyalty, patience, wisdom, and trust. And this number is specifically interesting to me because I was born on the 4th day of the 9th month. So given that, the fact that it is, from a Christian standpoint, it's associated with the cross is very significant to me. Also in the Bible, in Genesis, on the 4th day, all material universe was created. So the earth, wind, water, fire. The directions on the earth, north, south, east, west, they were all created. So there is that significance of creation and coming into totality for life to exist on earth. So therefore, when I look at it from my personal spiritual journey point of view, this was the beginning of my spiritual journey in true sense. Years 1, 2, and 3 in the US was just understanding God's will, understanding that His plan is greater than what I was looking for, and going with God's plan. So when the hand of providence brought me to this part of the country, that is in Rhode Island, I did not know how long I was going to live here. And year 4 showed what God was preparing for me. Firstly, while I took on the project, which was supposed to be a short-term 3-month gig, ended up being a long-term project wherein I actually joined the client that I was working for full-time. Also, they helped with filing for my permanent residency. So given that they offered to do it, I said, fine, I would go with it. So year 4 marked the beginning of laying roots. What I did not know then was what that roots meant. Now that I look back, I find that 4, as with, it's the significance of it is the cross and the crucifixion, that 4th year kind of marked the beginning of my journey to Christ, understanding the cross. So in year 3, we talked about the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit in the Trinity. The cross is what combines all of that to human being and the relationship that we can build with God. So the combination of all 3 culminated at the cross, which was the 4th unit that kind of pulled us humanity closer to God. And so for me personally, that 4th year as a young adult, it was kind of beginning that journey of understanding God, being able to see what my purpose on this planet was. I was still grappling with a lot of things, but God had paved the way by first creating the opportunity for me to live in this country successfully. I had established a year on my own, and He also provided the way and the means to the path for permanent residency that would help me continue in the journey. I do not think I would have been able to achieve that if I had a lot of distraction and I wasn't trying to figure life on my own in solitude. So getting to that point, the year 4 was the true beginning of my spiritual journey. It's when I sort of had to take stock of what had transpired in the short adult life I had that far, and being able to rationalize. I'm a very intellectual creature, so emotions are hard to come by, but it was the run-ins with other adults that did not line up with the expectations I was raised with, because as children we are so naive, and just breaking that shackles of naivety was a very hard thing for me to do. And I felt that in the year 4, God was preparing me to take on a journey that's more meaningful and more fuller and richer in experience. But it wasn't going to be easy, but I just had the foundations been laid by giving me this opportunity to be able to set up my life on my own, not according to society's expectations, because usually a girl by that time is supposed to have been married and raise a family or whatever else. But I was on a deeper journey, and I think the desire to find and seek that journey enabled me to live the way I did my life up until now. So year 4 was definitely significant, and therefore it was my pathway to understand crucifixion and understand the true sacrifice of Jesus. I hope you guys reflect upon your life, because I'm sure everybody, as you look back and introspect, there are things that we can learn from it. And so nobody's life is the same. We all have different experience and different pathways to Jesus. But the important thing is, if we find that pathway and we get there, life is far more meaningful than one would ever know. And year 4 was just the stepping stone of my experience towards the journey of finding Christ. So with that, I would conclude this month's sort of reflection about my journey with Christ from my own personal experience. This was year number 4. In a month, we'll talk about 5 and how that journey transpired to the ultimate goal. Thank you.